What's up, guys? We're back with Megan's podcast. Also, no title, so very, very primal in the stages. I don't know if that makes sense. Very primal in the stages of this podcast still, and that's okay because you know what? This is very the essence of me that it's a hot mess and I don't have anything really figured out, but you know, it is what it is. But I don't know, I just kind of wanted to go in today a little more in depth to my school experience because people just don't think I go to school, or they think I get like an easy way out during school. They think I get like A's naturally. I don't know. I've heard the craziest stuff, and I've heard it from like students themselves at my school. So no, I'm gonna go through what really happens for overtime Megan going to school where she just becomes Megan, who is like studying sports media or whatever. I don't even know what I'm studying. When I transferred, they just kind of looked at my job and picked something for me. I don't know, pretty much. But I said this in the first episode that I went to a school in New York City, and granted, if I never went to a city school, I never would have found overtime because I never would have stumbled upon the person that worked for overtime, got the job. So I'm thankful that I chose the school that I went to prior to Sacred Heart in Connecticut. But junior year, was like, you know what? I just can't deal with not having a sports team, not having parents' weekend, not having frat parties. Like, I just could not deal with being like this bougie, like everyone lives in an apartment, everyone, like I felt so lonely. I felt like I was missing out on something because I was like sitting in the kitchen with my boyfriend like this summer, and him and his parents were talking about like moving into school and all that, and I'm just like sitting there thinking like, wow, my school life just feels non-existent. I feel like I don't like have this like community of people. I don't know. It felt weird. So that's why I transferred in the first place pretty much. So I go to Sacred Heart in Connecticut. I mentioned that in the first episode. But like going to a new school that's like more traditional and like not in the city and like everyone's just kind of like, I don't know, within the same range. It's like a little Catholic school. It's really small. It's a really tight-knit community. It was quite the experience. Like, I'm telling you, showing up on that first day of classes, people literally people did not know how to talk around me. And it's weird because, you know, like, it's a small school. Like, I get it, whatever. I think people just knew me from my job. But I got the weirdest questions. Like, people were like, do you actually go here? Do you actually attend classes? Like, do you actually do homework? Like, people ask me the weirdest things. They're like, do you pay someone to do your homework? And I'm like, I'm here the same reason you are. Michelle and Mark Eugenio instilled this education in me. I don't understand, though. Like, I don't know. Influencers that don't do school, like, they're lucky. But, like, I feel lucky to do school at the same time. But at the same time, it's, like, it's a struggle. But no, like, my parents are paying for school. Like, I am not going to just sit here and pretend like I don't have 4 assignments to do tonight after this. Like, after I film this, I'm going to go home and do, like, 3 final papers. Don't even know how they're going to do. It's just craziness. But going to a normal school, like, I, like, can't even explain to you guys just how awesome it is. Like, people that don't go to college, that choose to not go to college, like, go to college. It is a fun time. It is, like, your last time to be a kid. And something I learned from, like, going to a normal school is frat parties and how gross they are. Like, it is disgusting. Like, you literally, I showed up to my first frat party, like, the first weekend, and it's sweaty, it's grimy, everyone just smells, and it's just so bad, but it's so fun. Like, I was standing in a sink having a great time singing Pitbull. Like, they love Pitbull at college. I don't know why, but I felt very Raftous, very college. It was really cool. I have a rant because this happens all the time. There's one thing that I don't like about school, and it is just like the way that like I get interrupted sometimes. Like, I will be sitting doing like a paper in like a common area, typing away on my laptop, headphones in both ears because I'm having to listen to a video lecture from another class at the same time. It's due in an hour. I fall behind, whatever. I know I had bad time management. And people come up and just ask me the most out-of-pocket questions. Like, I once had this day where 4 guys came up to me like within an hour and just asked me the dumbest things. Like, I'm clearly typing a paper, and it gets to the point where I'm friendly, but I have to like cut them off and be like, hey, listen, like, I kind of got to get back to this. And they look at me like I have 5 heads. It's like, no, I have a discussion board. I have to agree with this other person on their post and then base it off of someone else's. It's a struggle. But this kid literally once came up to me and was just like, what NBA players are in your DMs? I was like, I'm like doing sports communication culture class right now. That's not on my mind. Like, it's so out of pocket, and for what? I don't know. And it's like, sometimes people just do not treat me normally there, but for the most part people do. But I have noticed someone recording me in the line to get a bagel at like 8 a.m., which is not fun because I don't go to school looking cool. I go to school in like my school gear. Like I look like a freshman. I'm a junior. Like I look stupid. I have like Sacred Heart pants and a Sacred Heart hoodie and my glasses on and my mask. Like it's just hot mess central. I will admit though that the only reason I got into the school when I did is I applied so late. Like classes already kind of started when I like really started going to the school. Like it was like a weekend, but you know, housing's filled, like all the classes are filled. They were like, sorry, we're too full. And I was like, all right, like, but I don't take no for an answer. So when I was really trying to get into Sacred Heart, I was so desperate to like just get out of my school that I kind of name dropped a little bit and name dropped myself. And I was like, listen, this is what I do. I think I'd be a good addition to your program. And after saying that, kind of how I got in really late because they didn't have room. They literally squeezed me into like the tiniest space that they had, squeezed me into classes. Every class I got into I think was waitlisted, but it made sense because I mean afterwards they asked me to do like marketing and TikToks for them, which I never actually did. I never ended up doing it, but I do see the guy that got me into the school frequently and he's a very nice man. I always see him at football games and I just like always have to remember that I like just barely got into the school. So like when I'm like not passing in an assignment and like when I'm like doing stuff late, I have to remember like I like really desperately tried to get in here. And then I like, so when I'm slacking off, I always try to remember that. But like no one understands. Like I like will be traveling and then like I'll go to school Monday and Tuesday. I'm traveling like Friday, Saturday, Sunday for something or for like family. I'll be home and it is just such like sometimes your mind just can't focus on school and like I get it, but some people say to me, I've had someone say to me like, oh, other people work through school too. And I'm like, that makes sense, but like I'm not clocking in at a Starbucks and doing mindless like making coffee or making sandwiches, which I'm not like bashing that. It's just like I feel like there's a difference between a passion job and a job just to make money on the side. And I don't do overtime for the money. I do overtime because I love overtime. I've always loved overtime. So there's always this like constant battle of like me trying to like mentally focus on both, but always feeling like one has more value than the other. So like when it comes to people being like how do you balance both? I'm like, I honestly don't know because sometimes I always let school slack a little bit. Like I don't let overtime slack, but like sometimes I'll text like my manager and I'm just like, I'm really stressed out. I'll text her when I'm crying. I'll text her when I have like 5 assignments missing. I'll text her when I need help with homework. Like there's just so much that goes on behind the scenes. It's not just like a 10 class get an A. I don't know why people think I get A's automatically just because I go there. Like that's just, no. I pay the same amount and I do the same amount of work. And I cry in the bathroom too sometimes. Like no one understands that. I've literally cried in the bathroom mid-class, wiped my tears, and went back. I did get like a snack in the vending machine on the way back, but whatever, it's fine. So this was actually my first night at Sacred Heart. I had made a best friend at Sacred Heart before I even got there, so she was like, let's go out. But when I first like realized I was actually going to Sacred Heart, I posted on my Instagram story, which is my fault, like I did this, but I wanted friends before I got there. So I posted on my Instagram story, I was like, if you go to Sacred Heart, like hit me up, hit my DMs, we'll be friends. And there's obviously the people that, you know, put it in their bio to just get me to respond. But then there was a lot of people that actually did like hit me up from Sacred Heart, and I like became friends with a lot of people. So I had a bunch of people, I gave my number out to like all these Sacred Heart people, and I was like, text me with plans tonight, like what's going on this weekend. And me and my best friend Alyssa were like, let's go to the football house. Football house was like the first party I ever went to, and like I went to a city school. Like there was no house, there was no everyone lives in these houses together and throws insane parties. Like that was not a thing. So the fact that there was a football team, which I never had, and they were having this house party, which I never been to, I was like, this is gonna be so insane, it's gonna be so fun. I put on this nice outfit, I put on brand new white sneakers. Yeah, this is one thing I also didn't know about college. I put on these brand new white sneakers that I'd gotten a week before from Jordan because I did like an event for one of their basketball tournaments. And I was like, I look great, let's go. Caked my face in makeup. Me and Alyssa were like, let's go, we're ready. We met up with a couple other girls, and you have to like walk. You have to walk to parties in college because obviously you can't drive. Like there's gonna be no parking and like no one really has a car. So it's not that cold out, but like meanwhile, like probably wasn't in the best clothing. I walked to the party. The guy at the door literally is like $20 to get in. I was like, what? Like, and then I realized it's because we had guys with us. He was like $20 for guys. I was like, who are you, linebacker, second string on the team, sixth man of the year, telling me that I have to pay $20 for my guy friend? I do it anyways. I Venmo for my guy friend, okay? And I did. I don't know, whatever. I think I even added an extra 20 in there. I was so mad. But I just wanted to like prove a point that this is stupid. We go in. The backyard is just full of people standing around pretty much, you know, whatever, enjoying life. There's a garage with LED lights in it. There's a sink in there. Actually, I just always stand in the sink for some reason. I go in, everyone's singing like Mo Bamba, and there's a couple people standing up on elevated surface, and I love a good elevated surface. So, you know, I had my friend who I had met like a day prior pull me up, and I'm just standing in the sink, you know, having a good time, taking Snapchat videos. My phone's like slipping out of my hand because I'm dripping sweat. I go to hug my best friend because I'm like, I love this school, I love it here. And we just like slide off each other because it is so hot. It's disgusting. We're all musty, we're all grimy. I just see some people I know, I'm hugging people, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm disgusting. It's just like hot mess, but no one cares. Everyone's just having a good time. And then the next situation is the bathroom. Never use the bathroom in any house pretty much unless it's like owned by girls, because these guys just don't care to live in actual filth. Like frat house, sport houses, there's like cans in the shower. The toilet has like the entire toilet paper roll just thrown in there, brand new, clogged. The sink has no soap. It's gross. There's not even a towel. And then you wonder whose toothbrush is just sitting on the counter. Who is okay with leaving their toothbrush out during a party where people are just rubbing their hands everywhere? So nasty. I go to the bathroom, I look at myself, I'm like, I look crazy. I took a selfie, it was so bad. I'm not gonna show that, but like my hair was out to here because I wore it curly. It was so frizzy. My outfit was just like, there was like mess on it. I don't even know where I got that from. Just people rubbing up against you when you walk past, you just get dirt on you. It's disgusting because there's a backyard. And it must have rained the night before because I looked down at my brand new white Jordans and they were brown, completely brown. I was like, this is just a mess. So whatever, that was pretty much the end of that night. And then I realized those shoes have to be your designated college shoes. You have to have a designated pair of college shoes. That was my pair. I washed them off, whatever. The next day I went to another party, which was a paint party. So I should have gotten the notion that like, it's a paint party, whatever. No, I didn't realize what I was walking into. I wore cute jeans. I wore like a cute outfit. I wear my bad shoes. I'm like, oh, I'm prepared. I have my bad shoes on. I can get messy. No, I walked into the basement of this frat house this night. I walked in with one of my friends from the frat. Everyone's wearing white, and there's like black LEDs on or black light on. And I'm like, okay, all right. Like, I'll just stand in the corner. No, the second you walked into this paint party the next day, like, there was kids from the frat with, like, water guns filled with paint, neon paint. And they sprayed your face, your hair, your outfit, your shoes. Obviously, I didn't care about the shoes. I was like, oh, I'm prepared. I have my shoes. No, my jeans were tie-dyed with neon paint. My top was tie-dyed with neon paint. My hair was pink. Like, it was so bad. Like, these college parties do not hold back. They don't care what you look like. They don't care what you've worn. They don't care if it's your favorite outfit. No, you're getting obliterated anytime you walk into a college party. That was just, like, that was really kind of off track. That was kind of off topic because I wasn't even about, like, the real frat party that I went to. But that was the first weekend. But no, then I soon learned that you need to really mentally prepare for all college parties because you really are not going to leave looking good. You're going to leave looking like you just got run over by like all 7 frats at your school, like seriously. But my real first frat party experience was just interesting. Like, I didn't realize that these frats, like, this is their livelihood. These boys are very serious on who comes in. They're serious on like the type of girls that come in. Like they need to like know you. And also, biggest rule ever, no guys unless you're in the frat. So the ratio is like 6 men to 500 girls. So it's like obviously totally equal. I think it's a power complex. I think these boys are just like really insecure, in my opinion, that like they can't have other competition at the party stealing their girls at their own house. Whatever, I've said that to their faces. They get offended. So their egos are tiny. My heart is full, eyes clear. I walk up to the frat house door, my first frat house. This house, every house has a nickname. This one's called Chopsy or something. I don't even know. So I walk up to Chopsy. And obviously, like, you have to know someone to get in. I think I came with a frat person because I was like, oh, easy ticket. I bring someone from the frat with me. I walk in. You can't even move. How do you navigate the house? They fill the house to the point where the floor is caving in. And I can't move. So my first instinct is to rush to the bathroom because, wow, the bathroom's open for once. It's the one free area where I'm not smushed up against 3 other blondes. So I run in the bathroom. I shut the door. I think to myself, what have I gotten myself into? This is real college. This is messy. I feel like I'm not even having a good time. Then I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, I can do this. So I open the door. I go back out into the wilderness. That is all the girls at the frat party. And let me tell you, moving past girls at a frat party, they don't want to leave their group. They're all facing each other. They're all this close to each other. And they're all talking about, like, you know, James is, like, cheating on Kelsey or something. I don't know. And they will not separate for the life of them. God forbid that these girls, they're called frat groupies, they separate when another girl is trying to infiltrate and just move. Oh my gosh, the world ends. You get the dirtiest looks. They're like, what the heck? And even worse, it was like my first real big frat party. This isn't just like a sports house outside. This is like my first real frat party. And it's the first time I made an appearance. So I was like, I need an elevated surface. I can't be on the ground with these people. I would feel like I'm getting trampled. It would felt like crazy. I was like, I'm not. So I go and stand in the sink. The sink's my favorite. It's my go-to. I stand in the sink. All of a sudden, I notice randomly throughout like the first 10 minutes, flashlight, 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 flashlight. People are taking videos of me standing in this sink. And I'm just like, and I saw them after. Like, I saw on people's stories after from other people's phones. Like, it was like the caption was like, overtime Megan. And then just me in a sink. And I'm just like, can I not have my peace? I just want to like watch everyone jump up and down to Pitbull and Britney Spears or whatever else we played and just have a good time and watch how people mingle. But like, I'm telling you, like, I just got no peace up there. But after, I guess, like, after it was like, okay, whatever, she's here, she's standing in the sink, because people are just so weird. It calmed down, and then just like the pandemonium, is that a word? Pandemonium happens. One kid tries to crowd surf. It's all girls. Do you think they're really lifting you up being like, yeah, like, get, no, the 200-pound kid from Pi Cap is not crowd surfing. I'm sorry, it's not happening. 90-pound Lindsay cannot lift you up. So it's just crazy because the kids will try to do stuff that's like Snapchat worthy or just memorable or to make it onto like their school's like meme page or something on Instagram, and it just always backfires. Like, I swear. But in reality, this entire time, I'm just worrying about the floor caving in. That's why I got on the elevated surface, because everyone's jumping and the house is shaking. And then I wonder, how do these kids live in these houses? And how do the neighbors not care? How do you live in a college town? That's my question. If I had a family and I lived in a college town, I'd move out right away. This is like some Project X vibes. Like, I've never seen so many kids fit into a tiny kitchen. And it was crazy. And then I had nothing on me. My phone was like dying. I was just like, this is a mess. Everything about college parties is so messy. Like, it's never just like mingling. It's always just sweat and grime. Well, whatever. I get too hot in there. I'm literally, like, my clothes are drenched. It's that hot. I wasn't even jumping up and down like every other Emily in the room. I was just standing on the sink. So I go outside. People are just like peeing on the fence. Like, I don't know. It's like, there's something about frat life that turns people feral, because you can't you can't just like be normal at a frat house. You kind of gotta maneuver. It's kind of like an episode of Survivor in my opinion, because there's no food, there's no drink, there's no bathroom. You literally are on an episode of Survivor, and it's fake it till you make it. You know, everyone pretends like they're having a good time, and then you go home and you're like, that really wasn't worth it. And it really wasn't worth it. People are like smashing into tables. Like, it's like a really good pastime of frat boys to like jump onto tables. They love breaking tables. I don't know what it is. They just love to see the table smash in the middle. So someone broke a table and then like someone jumped on it after and it's already broken. I'm like, what? Are you just trying to find stuff to do? Like, this is so crazy. Anyways, then don't even get me started. You have to walk home. Don't get me started. I had to walk like 10 minutes and then I eventually found an Uber. Like, cause everyone's calling an Uber at the same time. But granted, my school's in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Do you think there's a million Ubers like New York City? No, there's not. There's like a solid 4, and 2 of them are like the same person just trying to get more jobs. So like, it's so stupid. It's ridiculous. I couldn't even get home. My shoes are still like disgusting, and that was like my first real frat party. But you know, maybe I'll try breaking a table one day. I should try fitting in like that. If there's 3 things that I want you guys to take away from this episode of just my experiences that I've had at college so far: find an elevated surface, designate a pair of college party shoes, you know, preferably ones that are already a little bit, you know, dirty. And also, don't pay $20 to get into a party, because that's just going to fund that kid's Dunkin' Donuts the next day. So, and we're out.
Yo, fam, was really good. Overtime Fits got so much heat dropping this year. If you're trying to get dripped out like your guy, all you got to do is click right here. And stay tuned to all the new drops, all right?